Hey there, outdoor YouTubers. Dave Knetter from Knetter's Practical Outdoors. This video today is part 5 of processing up a deer. My dad, Don Knetter, is going to show you guys how to do up the inner and outer loins. My dad is a career meat cutter. Back in the 80s and 90s, he was processing up anywhere from 200 to 400 deer a year. So he's done quite a few and really knows what he's doing. And I think he can get you guys pointed in the right direction.
Well, next we're going to do the loin rib section. And Dave has his nice little tenderloins in here yet that he left from the field dress. Here are the two other sections of the butts. And I'll just go ahead and take his tenderloins out for him here. I know he's probably going to eat them tonight. That's the inside tender. And it lies on each side of this vertebrae. You can see the vertebrae here. Kind of hug the vertebrae with your knife. And you're going to have rib bones that go out that way. Let the knife follow those rib bones out. This tenderloin lays right on top of them. And there they are. And they look real nice yet. Sometimes they can get very dry looking. But you got a little side muscle you can just rip off of there. Perfect. Here's that little side muscle I said you can rip off. Perfect. They're nice and clean. And there actually is some very nice meat here that can be taken off. Your loins come up through here. So just very carefully and shallow, you'll be able to pick up a seam. And that meat will start to come off of the bone. And we'll slab this on the other side. Being careful when you get up toward the back to just ride the seam. You don't want to cut into your loins and mar them up. Now I'm going to go one step further, try to make it a little easier by taking off these rib bones. There's nothing you're going to lose here at all. So what you want to do is see where your loin ends, your ribs. If you take them off about here, it's going to be very beneficial for you to work your loins out of the backbone. So I'll just start here. This can be a little bit tougher to cut because these bones are real stubby and brittle. But you just take your time. And then on this side, just mark it with your knife so you don't cut into your loin strips. You kind of want to cut that off right there where you marked it. Again, if you get it over the edge, it helps a little bit. So now we have the full back loins, rib loin section. To help you out if you're processing it yourself, cut this into 2 pieces. You don't have to have this great big long piece to work with. Go right across the backbone. Good enough there. Take your saw. Cut it into 2 pieces. It'll be easier to work with. This is more or less the rib section. That's the loin section. Both are pretty much just great eating loin strips of meat. And this now, I'll finish taking the rest of this off. You can still salvage a little trim off of this. So now we want to take out our nice loin strips that are on each side of this backbone. We got the backbone exposed. We just want to go down each side of that backbone. So hugging the backbone with the tip of your knife, just go ahead and run right down to where you're just going to hit the other bones that go out. Same thing on this side. Go down each side. As you get down, there's going to be just a slight jog off of a little bit of a hump there. It's not bad. And then take your knife and follow the bones out over. Hug the bones good with your knife. You don't want to slice into your big loin. Make a big gouge in your loin strips. And this will start rolling out real nicely. And it's going to be sitting right in a seam of fat. So there's the one off of that side. We'll do the same thing on this side. We ran it right down as far as we could. We will come over that little jog and then ride the rib bones out to the edge. Just a little at a time. Don't get impatient because you don't want to mess these up. And again, it will sit right in a natural seam when you get so far out to the edge of the bones. This is pretty much history right here, unless you want to put it out for the birds. So this is more or less the rib section of your loin strip. Now we're getting back to the real good parts here again. And again, if your deer is kind of fat, just go right down the center here. And you can find those tips of those vertebrae. If you're not real sure of where they're at, just shallowly go down there and see the tips of them. You want to go down each side of those. Again, just like you did on the other one that we just did. Go right down as far as you can with your knife. You're going to hit bone because you got the bones that go off this way. And now again, we'll go down, we'll hit a little bit of a lip, got to drift over a little bit, and then we'll just try to ride the bones that you feel with the tip of your knife out to the edge. And this here, same thing. Just go ahead with your knife and follow this a little bit and you'll pick up a natural seam. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Go down, jog out just a little bit, hit the bones and ride them out. There you have your loin strips.
All right.
And we will go ahead and clean them up and put them over in with the rest of our cuts. You can flip them over this way. You want to go ahead and straighten off the ends so they're not too ratty. That little hump that you slid off the edge of, that's right here. You can go ahead and take that meat off now. Throw it into the trim. And what we're going to do is get rid of this silver meat. Yeah, you want to peel off that silver meat best you can. And if your knife is good and sharp, it'll come off nicely. But what you should do, it kind of rolls around this edge. You should almost lay it like that first and get this piece here right off of there. It'll make it a lot easier when you go to shave off your silver. And very carefully, get your knife under the silver. You can see the knife right through the silver. Slowly work it off. This is the stuff that'll make your steak curl up. So we're going to just go right ahead. Take it right off. Entirely. There's nothing there except tough. Take a little bit more off. It's pretty much just as nice as you could want it. Same thing on this one. Take off this little strip that runs along there. It's all meat. Square it off. Go ahead. This is that part I was telling you that runs down along that side. That silver will come off nicer if you get this off over on this side where it comes down over the edge. And again, just slightly underneath it. Once it's underneath it, you can kind of angle it upward a little. You don't want to cut through it and lose it. Just ride it along. These, of course, are your real nice eating steaks. I have at times taken this strip off of here. You know, it's kind of a natural seam. It's got, but it's plenty good eating. So I'll just leave it on.
All right.
This is going to be good eating deer anyway.
Oh yeah.
There she be.
Nice.
Remember this, guys. Hunt, fish, laugh, repeat. This is Dave Knetter, along with my dad Don Knetter from Knetter's Practical Outdoors. Hey, thanks for watching and God bless.